All right. Welcome to Notes from the Design Desk. My name's Corey Ecker. I'm here with MTNBlaze Branding. This is a new segment that I'm starting for sort of a new organization that I'm getting into. MTNBlaze Branding is my personal brainchild that I'm beginning to develop as I see sort of an opportunity within the market. What I want MTNBlaze Branding to sort of be about is a sort of intersection between the manufacturing and the sort of middleman company that does various merchandising services. So what I've seen in my time in these organizations is there's not a lot of wiggle room for particularly good design to happen at these companies because the way that they function is very focused on volume. So what MTNBlaze Branding is looking to accomplish is providing the service of good design, designing merch items, designing branded products, and only the design aspect of that to build better products and bring a sense of elevated design to the merchandise industry. Merchandise being the products that we're selling to breweries, venues, various different outdoors industry companies, manufacturing companies, the like. And so our goal is to provide the peak amount of high quality design to those industries while letting sort of the middleman companies and the manufacturers do what they need to do. And not getting in the way of that. So what that requires is the capacity to, on one hand, provide efficient, strong, good design at a reasonable price, while also speaking the language of those companies and providing a interface for the client to work with us and them. So it's sort of a middle place between being able to create something and actually manufacturing it, and then speaking the language therein of all of the different steps. So that's what we're bringing to the table. We're not just sort of like the designer. We are we're like the abstract between the two things. So as I'm speaking this, I'm kind of getting my ideas out, but this is going to be an ongoing vlog. Sort of exploring these ideas as I'm looking into them. I'm hoping to do this on a weekly basis, maybe make it on Fridays. And then, middleman. What we're trying to do is, be that, design. Because I think, a lot of people have come to me seeking really cool merchandise concepts, but I'm never in the position where I can fulfill those because I'm working and I'm making stuff at a pace that doesn't allow it. So I want MTNBlaze Branding and merchandise to be that opportunity to really make cool stuff. And when a client comes and says, "Hey, can you do this?" the answer is going to be yes, and then it becomes sort of that fulfillment process of creating something really interesting and elevated and new, instead of cutting corners and saying, "Hey, we can't do that. We need to bring it down a notch. We can do something that's cookie cutter." Or you can just not work with us, So I want to get to a place where we're working with clients in the capacity of like explorative, investigative, high design, high concept, unique, but also sellable. The name MTNBlaze is sort of coming from that sort of mountain culture that I think is becoming really popular right now. It's sort of the granola design world, whether it's the Patagonia product design, it's the Cotopaxi design, the outdoor gear. I think that's where the merchandise company's going. I think Patagonia is sort of coming down to meet merchandise, and the general merchandise is going up to meet that high level gear. I don't think people really want to just sell t-shirts anymore. I think people want gear that's going to last and makes a statement and is also usable. I don't think people really want t-shirts and hoodies that are going to fall apart. They don't want the Gildan 1000 whatever t-shirt that we've seen everything get put on. They want high quality, almost equipment level stuff that they can wear on a hike, on a run, on the beach right before they go surfing or whatever it is. They want to have these items that are going to last, and they want them to be branded, and they want them to be usable. So our goal is to act as agency to that, and explore various companies while designing high quality product that exceeds, customer expectation. The short of that is just we want to make cool stuff, right? So we want to make products that are both interesting, well made, and well designed, and visually stunning, and holds the company brand. So that's kind of where we're at and where we want to go. So what I would like to do is sort of bring you on that journey. So that's point one, what MTNBlaze Branding is. Right now, I'm just a guy with a couple of computers and an iPad and a Cintiq, and I'm currently employed. So it's something that's going to be evolving slowly. You can check out our website at mtnblaze.co, for more information about the kinds of stuff that we're trying to do. And that website's going to evolve over time. So I think I'm going to try and write a blog post about this as well, and sort of keeping up with social media when I can, and that's going to be the rolling ball, as they say. So yeah, that's my initial thought. I think the process is going to be sort of getting and encouraging people to check us out through the website, reaching out with those sort of information input sheets. So if you go to our website right now, www.mtnblaze.co, and go to the request a quote page, you can sort of fill out a request for more information, and I will personally reach out to you and talk to you a little bit about what project you're looking to be developed. Right now, we're looking for all kinds of clients, not any sort of one specific client, but definitely, members of that new outdoor economy, venues, small fishing companies, surf companies, if you're a travel company that takes people on hikes, we want to talk to you. If you're breweries, we want to talk to you. If you are venues, music, whatever, you make handcrafted lutes on the other side of the Tennessee border, we want to talk to you. We really are interested in working with and developing for the small guy, the small company, the small business, the people who wake up and get passionate about what they do, because what I believe is those people, they've got that urge, that urgency, that the passion, and they love what they do, and they are excited about what they do, and they represent the American people as it stands, and that's the group that we're trying to work with. So if that's you, come talk to me. That doesn't mean that we're not open to corporate and large companies, but I think that the most interesting work would be made with working with small business. So that's what I'm personally interested in. I think that another aspect of this is sort of storytelling. And that's something that I want to bring to the table for this company is how do we tell your company's story through the merchandise, the design, and the branding. That's sort of the tools that we have to work with. We're interested in doing social media work as well, but that's going to be another step. Because something that I'm going to discuss in later vlogs is this idea of building systems and building processes that we'll put into play as we go. Right now, I'm figuring out this sort of design process because I know people have come to me and talked about, hey, can you do this? And I want to say yes, and I just don't have that process in place to actually do it in between work. So that's my goal, is to get this thing set up. Beyond that, telling the story through logos and branding and merchandise and materials used in that merchandise can be a potent factor in a business's success. So what that means basically is, if you have a t-shirt in certain colors, in certain branded materials, using certain applique, with different logos hits throughout the actual garment, it's gonna tell a story about who your company is by the way that the shape of that garment and the material of that garment and the color selections invoke different narratives, right? So if you have a recycled shirt that is in like earth tones with a rustic looking logo, that's going to express one narrative versus a crisp white cotton t-shirt with stark black minimalist logos, which could express a more urban narrative. So what I believe in is that when given, a limited amount of pieces, like there's only so many keys on a keyboard, there's only so many colors on a palette. It's the way that they combine where new ideas emerge. And so through that, that's how story gets told in the merchandising realm. Beyond that, I think what, we're telling the story, and we're also trying to create items that people care about. I think that the gimmick is coming out with new stuff over and over again at the lowest possible cost for the highest possible return, for the pure sake of handing out a business card on a hat is short-sighted. I mean, the function is there, right? You can design a hat or design a t-shirt and create merchandise that tells the story of your brand, and only that. But at that point, people could look at your website or, look at an actual business card or a pamphlet. I think the reason that we do this is because we want to make cool, highly unique, highly sellable, highly coveted items that, people are going to want and they're going to last forever. That's why I do this. I love seeing my hat and my shirts that I've designed and, the various merchandise that I've put out in the world that has my name on it in some capacity, at least my fingerprints. What I love about that is that people hold on to them. It becomes a part of who they are. You get a hat, and that hat, gets worn by you to family events. It shows up on your Instagram. It shows up on your, Facebook photos and your profile pictures. You go on a hike, and then, that picture is seen by people for generations, and they realize that, that hat became a part of who you are, and it became a sort of part of your lexicon of attire. And so it became ingrained in the people that care about you, their mind, like, oh yeah, Jimmy's old hat he got at work, and that's why we buy things in the first place, is because we want it to be a part of who we are, and secondarily, it's a part of the way that people see us. Like, oh yeah, Corey always wore that turquoise hat, and you love that hat. And I will know him by that, and I will remember him because he had that hat on. It's just the way it is. I can reference many a story in my own life where people had either recognized me or, made statement about the hat I was wearing. I used to wear this old red Obey giant hat, and it sort of became a part of my identity in a way. One day I'll tell a series of short stories about different merch items and the way that it impacted my life. But I think if you think about it, we all have those stories. And so it returns to that circle of narrative where we start by telling your story, and then your story becomes someone else's story. And then they will know you by their own story and their story by you. I don't know if that made sense, but it's something that I've been thinking a lot about. So, story. Let's write this in here. The only reason anyone does anything is because of stories. The only reason that we go out every day is to come back and tell people what you did during the day. So, if you're not thinking about the story that you're telling through what you're doing and what you're buying, you're not really living properly. So that's something to think about. It's bigger than merch, but I think that merch is a way to express that in a capitalist society. Anyway, moving forward. So if any of what I've been talking about has resonated with you through this conversation, I would encourage you to check us out at MTN Mountain Blaze BLAZE.co. We're on Instagram at Mountain Blaze Branding Co. and also on TikTok. So we're going to be posting regular content there. I'm going to be putting up different logos and branding and projects that I'm working on and processes. I really want all of what I put out to be this sort of extremely transparent, straightforward, thing. I think no one wants to be sold to, but they want to be told the truth. And that's my goal, is to tell you the truth so that you can express your truth through the work that we do together. And that's my philosophy is, I'm going to do this from a documentarian approach, very straightforward, very sort of educational, very sort of you in the room with me, because that's sort of the end game, is that we all want to get in the room together and work together and make decisions, make choices, and be a part of the process. Because people get really emotional about their products. I've seen it when I'm designing hats or shirts or whatever it is for people. they get really attached to it, and all they really want is to be a part of the process. So who am I to deny you, viewer, customer, client, the right to be a part of this process as we build this together? So come along with me. We have many miles ahead, but if you're interested, shoot me an email. We're at mountainblaze@gmail.com, and let's get started. All right, signing off.